Hi guys, this is Izzy. Uh, I've never seen any of you guys before, so that'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to try really hard and not make this ridiculously long, but you guys sent me a lot of really awesome questions, so I'm going to try and get to all of them. Fingers crossed. If not, then I might do another video or just do meta for the rest of it. Okay. I tried to organize these so they make some sort of sense and I don't spend forever rambling, but yeah. Okay. The first question is from Emma. What gave you the idea for Naomi? To be perfectly honest, I think I came to the mods like a week before opening of 2.0 and said that I wanted a gypsy girl orphan. And I was really excited about the gypsy curse on Angel, and I thought that was really neat, and I wanted to kind of to go on to the magic part of that a little bit more. And what they ended up coming up with was Naomi, and at first I was like, oh, I really wanted to do magic, but the more I've gone on with Naomi, she's such a different character from anything I've ever played before. Personality-wise, I usually end up with characters that are really sassy and sarcastic and stuff like that, tough girls. But she has no magic. She's human. She's horrible at magic actually, which I chose to do on purpose because I kind of wanted to play around with that handicap and see what her place in this world is, considering that she's got these. She's a mundane sort of thing. I thought that would be a lot of fun. So she's kind of developed from there. Okay, good question. How do you get inspired to write for Naomi? And that's from Alicia. I listen to a lot of like 70s punk, English punk. And I it's not my kind of music. Like I like folk rock and stuff like that, but I like to listen to her kind of music, and it really kind of gets you in that place where you're like, yeah, let's beat a demon up or something. So that's a lot of fun. There's also like totally randomly, there's this one thought that I tend to come back to when I'm kind of stuck and I'm not sure how she would react emotionally in a situation. I come back to this idea that she stopped emotionally developing when her parents died. That was such a trauma, and her life changed so much after that moment that a lot of times the way she reacts is an 8-year-old. Like, that's how an 8-year-old reacts, not an adult, not a 22-year-old woman. And it's been a lot of fun trying to figure out how an 8-year-old would react and then make it so that it's not completely obvious that she's emotionally stunted. So that's a lot of fun, and I keep coming back to that idea a lot when trying to deal with her emotional handlings of stuff. Like when Erin died, she didn't, grieve really. She blamed herself, which is a kid thing to do. She blamed herself and then hid under the covers. I mean, it's pretty much what she did. She had a bottle, but she hid under the covers until she got to the place where she was like, I'm mad now. I'm angry at everything and everyone, so I'm going to take it out. I'm going to have a temper tantrum. And that's pretty much what she did. So a lot of her emotional reactions is her being a kid, being a child. And that's one of the reasons why in Season 2 I've decided that I really want her to grow up and learn how to deal with these situations in an adult manner. Something that's not detrimental really to her adult relationships. So yeah, that's a good one. Our next question is, I wrote these all down on note cards. Unless you guys, okay. I'm nerdy, whatever, shut up. What do you love the most about Naomi? And that's from Hannah. I love how contradictory she is. She has a lot of beliefs that she thinks she holds really strongly to, and then one person comes along and she throws it out the window. You know, she holds, multiple beliefs at the same time. They're totally contradictory, but she makes it work, barely. For instance, human life is very important to her, and obviously, when she first showed up, she valued human life significantly more than demon or vampire life. But then Illyria shows up, who she develops this really strong bond with in very, dramatic situations. A bond that she never was going to have with, a demon or a vampire sort of thing. And suddenly, now that Fred's back, she's like, Illyria's my friend. Sorry, Fred. I know you're human, and I feel bad about it, but, her friendship her loyalty to friends tends to trump a lot of the ideals that she's developed along with her Watcher training. And we'll get on to that a little bit more, because there's more to that, to the whole thing. But yeah, I really love exploring the contradictions and in what situation exactly is she willing to turn away from these beliefs. Like, when is she allowed to say, okay, the rules are meant to be broken, sort of thing. I like that, and I think that's a lot of fun to explore. So yeah, that was a really good one. What makes Kennedy and Naomi compatible in a Slayer-Watcher relationship? And that's from Alicia. Really nothing. And I say that only because Naomi is a horrible Watcher. She is not a good Watcher. She doesn't think ahead. She's very compulsive. Willing to dive into a situation and deal with it. But she's learning. But still, right now, she's a horrible Watcher. And that's one of the reasons I haven't pushed her forward, especially with Dawn recently becoming a full-blown Watcher. I haven't pushed Naomi forward because she's not ready yet. She would be a horrible Watcher. What she is a really good thing is she's a good friend. A really good friend to Kennedy. And that's what's best for them right now. Kennedy really doesn't need a Watcher. She's grown up almost her entire life since Naomi was 8. She lost her parents. She's been on her own. Since Kennedy was 8, she's been training to be a Slayer. Like, she's got way more experience than a lot of these other girls do, at least in the training situation. That she doesn't have the experience, like the actual Slayer experience that Buffy does, or Faith, or any of the others, but she does have that up on a lot of the other girls. And in a lot of ways, she's a much better Watcher than Naomi is. Oops. But they're good because they get each other. They understand what's going on in the other one's head, and that makes them good partners. Not necessarily Slayer-Watcher duo, but they're good partners. And I think we'll see more of that in the future. If Naomi ever decides to take on another Slayer, we'll end up seeing Kennedy kind of becoming like a side Watcher to the other Slayer, because really, other than keeping Kennedy on a schedule, there's not a whole lot of watching going on. So, but yeah, they're really good emotional backup for each other. Physical and emotional backup. And the closer they've gotten, the better that bond has become, which is really fun to explore. I love me some Kenomi. That's a lot of fun. Anyway, okay, next one. What characteristics does Naomi have that you admire most and least? And that one's from Hannah. Most, I admire Naomi's loyalty. She's extremely loyal to people. There are people that prove themselves to her, and she full force loyal to them. She is not loyal to ideals. And I think that's something that is going to come to play with the Watchers Council in the near future. Because as many of these ideas that she's adopting from the Watchers, that human life is precious and blah blah blah, she holds to them because the people she cares about hold to them. Which is another reason why her kind of flirting with Wolfram and Hart is really dangerous, because they actually have more of the ideals that she has had to grow up with over the years. So it's she's not loyal to the council. She's loyal to the other Watchers and to the people that are loyal to the council, which for now is enough. That's going to keep her with the council for now. But we'll see about the future, what that shall hold. Let's see, who else? My least favorite thing is probably her loyalty. Because as much as a strength as it is for her, it's also a huge handicap, because she tends to put on these blinders. Once she's loyal to you, that's it. You're going down together. And there are a lot of people around her that are a lot more sneaky, and a lot more conniving than she is, that can take advantage of that. And also just her. She can be her own worst enemy a lot of times. With, like, for instance, when she first found out that Willow was trying to get back with Kennedy, and Kennedy was really upset about it because she, didn't feel things had ended well the last time, and, didn't want to get into a relationship with Willow again. Naomi was like, okay, we don't like Willow. That's what we got, right? That's the information she got from that. We don't like Willow. Because you don't like her, I don't like her. That's how we're doing this. So she doesn't like Willow. Because Kennedy didn't want to get back into a relationship with her. That's it. That's all. Like, I don't think she's ever actually interacted with Willow, other than the one time that Willow said something about, like, her face being pinchable or something, squishable, I don't know, whatever. That's it. That's all the real Kennedy-Willow experience that Naomi has. But that's enough for her. Her bond to Kennedy is enough to bias her against Willow. The same thing with Mallory. Mallory doesn't like Willow. Naomi's like, okay, we don't like Willow. That's how that works. And despite the fact that she also knows a lot of people that do like Willow, Mallory right now is one of the people that she's the closest to. And Mallory hasn't given her all the information. Mallory doesn't know all the information to begin with. But the information that she does have and that she has shared with Naomi is very biased against Willow. So Naomi's going with it. That's what she's got. She's not going to delve any deeper because it feels like that would be a betrayal of the friendship that she has with Mallory. Not taking Mallory for her word is a betrayal. So she's not going to. We'll see how long that lasts. I think eventually things they're going to start not adding up, and she's going to have to be like, okay, somebody give me this story. Like, let me find out more about what happened, what really happened. But that's not going to be for a while, because I'm evil and I don't want to. So there. Okay. Next question is, this is from Liz, which, small aside, my name's Elizabeth. I go by Izzy online all the time. But I also go by Liz all the time. So when people are like, in the GC, they're like, Liz! I'm like, what? Where? Who? Huh? And then I'm like, oh, I'm Liz. Anyway, that was stupid. Okay, this is from Liz. What's one thing, I can't read my own handwriting. What's one thing you'd like to tell Naomi? I would tell her to stop beating herself up. It's not her fault. It's not her fault that her parents died. It's not her fault that her best friend died. Erin's not her fault either. her first instinct is to blame herself. You know, why didn't I do more? Why couldn't I stop this? Blah blah blah. And it's a lot of weight for her to carry. And I think eventually I'd like to deal with that. But right now, it's a huge part of who she is. It's a huge part of her entire personality, that guilt. So it's not going anywhere just yet. But yeah, I would tell her that because she needs to hear it more. Okay, this one's another one from Alicia. Who are you looking forward to plotting with? Okay, everybody? Yes, but I wrote down 4 in particular. I'm really excited that we have a Gun. I am super excited for Gun. Gun's super awesome. I love Gun. And one of the reasons I love Gun so much is because as I've developed Naomi along her trajectory, I've really based a lot of her personality off of a combination of Gun with, you know, the orphaned street kid thing, Wesley with his smarts and brains, and Faith with her attitude. And that little trifecta has been really, really interesting and has created a very interesting character. And so it'll be even more interesting to take one of those little pieces and be like, you two, go over there and see what happens. That'll be fun. So I'm excited, and I've talked to Jay about about Gun and Naomi doing things with the new at-risk Slayer center that they've got. So I think that'll be fun. But again, Naomi's got a lot of emotional damage to work through before she can really be helpful to anybody. But I think it'll be fun to kind of have that worked through on site and kind of like have her have to deal with these things right then instead of sometime in the future. Also, super excited for more Estella mob stuff because Paige is evil and I want to do more evil things with her. Yes, please. There's lots of stuff in the brewing in the pot of ideas there, so that'll be fun. I'm also excited for more Caroline and Naomi time. Actually, we had one para a while back that didn't really get to finish because of time problems, but we talked about doing some more face-on-face, face-to-face, not face-on-face, I don't want on your face, I'm sorry. More face-to-face time with the whole Illyria/Fred thing. Because I think Naomi's drive to find an answer and Caroline's ability to find an answer can be a really great catalyst to kind of get their relationship going. Because they're very opposite, and I want to see how they work together. I think they'll be a lot of fun. Finally, really excited to get more Spike and Naomi time, because that needs to happen. Because of reasons. There you go. Okay. Another Alicia, because Alicia's awesome. If Naomi weren't a Watcher, what supernatural being would she be? That is such an awesome question. I love that question. She would totally be a Banshee. Because I really like the Banshee character we have right now, and I would totally take her because of Allison Scagliotti, but also because she's awesome. I would take her, except for she's already a lot like Naomi, and having two of those characters would get really confusing. But yeah, Naomi, with all of the death and the horrible things that have happened in her life, she would totally be a Banshee, because why not? This is a question from an Annan. Is it Annan? Anon? Whatever. I call him Annan. Would you ever kill off Naomi? Hell yes. I would kill her off in the biggest way, but I would wait until I could, milk the most feels out of it possible. People would be crying about it for weeks. It would be so bad, but so good. Okay. Kat sent me like this big thing with all these things to talk about. She wants me to talk about Penomi, Naomi, and the other official watchers. How Naomi feels in light of Dawn getting certified, and Estella and the other baby slayers. So pretty much Kat just wants me to like gross sob all over everything, but I'm not gonna let her. Damn it. Anyway, Penomi feels lots of them. Between Pin, Maggie, even Charlotte, they kind of, all the Lady Watchers kind of have have the market cornered as far as Naomi and mother figures go. And she loves it. She really does. So yeah, lots and lots of feels there. I want to see more. I would love to see Penomi go into a darker situation. We've talked about it before, kind of letting the two of them see the darkness that they both have. And I definitely want that. I think that would be a lot of fun. As for the other official watchers, the whole Watchers Council and all of the Watchers have kind of created a little family for Naomi. And they all offer different things. And she loves all of them. Really, she really does. I want more Watchers, please. Lots and lots of Watchers. I love them. I think they're fantastic. They're really my favorite thing. Even back when I started watching Buffy, I was like, those Watchers, man, they're super awesome. So I knew as soon as I found IEG, I was like, I'm getting a Watcher. I don't care how, I don't care who, I want a Watcher. Okay, next question. This one's another one from Imo. Are you surprised how Naomi's developed up to now? Yes. Oh my god. It's so ridiculous because when I first wrote her little app sample, I had her be very angry. She was very, very angry, like outwardly, physically angry, and she was very, very much more faithy in the beginning. And as I've gone along, I've kind of softened the edges, highlighted the good things that have come out of her settling and finding a place and kind of, building relationships. So I've kind of turned that anger back a little. I kind of pulled it back a couple of steps. It's still there. It really is, and she needs to deal with that. If she will, I don't know. We'll have to see how that happens. It's still there, but it's not as right in the front. It's not, on her face all the time, which I think gives her a little more depth, which I like a lot. What else? But yeah. So I'm hugely surprised, and I have giggle fits every time I get some message from somebody that's like, I love her so much, and I'm like, yes, thank you so much, thank you, fantastic, yes. So I love that, and that's great, and I think thank you so much. I don't think she would have been half as awesome as she is without other awesome characters to interact with. A lot of times, I've been RPing for a long time, probably since I was like 14 or something, and I've never had a character that has developed this far before, and I think that has a lot to do with the really awesome characters that you guys bring to the story, but also the way that IEG is run, with the weekly crazy plots and things. That really keeps it fresh and keeps things from getting stagnant, which I love so much. It's really awesome. Hey, so thank you guys. This is another Annan. Mallory and Naomi gonna waka waka. We just don't know. We just don't know. We'll see. Or maybe you guys missed it already and it happened and you're like, oh, damn. Don't know. We'll see. Okay. Here's one from Tups. Where do you see Mallory and Naomi going? Like that last one, obviously they're going to bed. No, Naomi doesn't do it in beds. Duh. No, they have a really interesting relationship. As far as Naomi is concerned, Mallory is not a carbon copy, but definitely a mirage of Siobhan, her friend that OD'd. And Naomi's had, 7, 8 years to see how all the things that she did wrong, all the things that she could have done instead of just letting this girl, this teenager, self-destruct right in front of her. Again, guilt. So she's, like I said, she's had a long time to think about all the things that she fucked up with, and she's like dead set on not letting that happen again. I'm not entirely sure how much Mallory's story really does reflect or does mirror Siobhan's. But as far as Naomi's concerned, this is Siobhan 2.0. This connection that she feels is so similar to the one she felt back then when she was 15 that, she can't help but fight harder and want to be there for this girl and all of that. So I think, and I've told Alicia this one time, it feels like I've got this weird mental image. When you spin with somebody, when you're holding somebody's hand and you two start spinning around each other and that centrifugal force tries to pull you apart, you hold on tighter. And that's what's happening right now with them. They had an automatic chemistry. Like, they really got along really well. And things started trying to pull them apart. And right now, Naomi is just holding on for dear life. She's not going to let go anytime soon. And that could be bad. That could be good. It could be the thing that keeps Mallory from going somewhere really, really bad. Or it could drag Naomi down. We'll just have to see what happens. I don't know yet. But I'm really, really excited to see where that goes. What happens. Yeah. More tough questions. If Mallory went full on Wolfram and Hart and had to be stopped, would Naomi help stop her or protect her? Right now, she would protect her. She would, but she wouldn't just, fight the other Watchers. She would try and talk sense into them. What she thinks is sense. And she would try and talk sense into Mallory as well. She'd be really disappointed, but in herself. And Mallory both. Mostly in herself, though, because that's what she does. But yeah, she wouldn't let go. She would try and fight until, the bitter end. She's not going to stop until, Mallory's standing over Willow's dead body with a knife. And even then, she'd probably be like, whoa, we need to deal with this. We need to deal with this. So, it's icky, and it's problematic, and it's delicious, and I love it. Okay, next question. Another MO question. How do you feel about her relationship with Wolfram and Hart employees? Naomi's flirtation, as I call it, with Wolfram and Hart is really my attempt to reflect her darkness, that nastiness inside of her, that rage, and the biggest draw for her is that she gets it. She gets why these people work there. Power, protection. She understands all of that, and she knows what it's like to have to make decisions that aren't necessarily good guy decisions, in order to keep alive, in order to survive. She gets that. The big difference, however, is that she was never in a position where she got to choose that lifestyle. That was something she had to do to survive. Stealing, conning, whatever. That was survival. That was real survival. The people at Wolfram and Hart have made the decision to be in this situation. So that's different. I don't know if she sees it that way yet, but she probably will. Another thing that she likes about Wolfram and Hart, and especially like Saoirse and Mallory and even Ryan, is that she doesn't have to pretend with them. They know what it's like to be around and to have those feelings. So she doesn't have to pretend that she doesn't feel those, that she isn't angry and that she isn't, sad and just, all these different feelings all the time, which is a huge relief for her. But it also worries her because, if she's got that in common with these people, how far off is she from being like the person that killed Aaron? The person that let Aaron get killed. And that worries her a lot, but not enough, obviously, to completely stop her from interacting with these people. Okay, next question. Saoirse and Naomi. And that's from Hannah. I don't know if we actually ever intended anything to happen with these two. Like, we never really sat down and were like, these are the things we're going to do with them. It's kind of always been a play-by-ear sort of thing, which is one of the reasons that they interact so sporadically, and really all we've ever seen them do, other than, the one Fight Club thing, was them going out for drinks. I think if Saoirse hadn't gotten promoted, things would still be okay. Like, it wouldn't be a huge deal. It would be a little disappointing, and I think when Penny finds out, she would be upset, but it wouldn't be as big a deal as it is going to be, because, she's the boss lady right now, just under Victoria, and that changes the dynamics. At least before she and Naomi were kind of level, neither of them knew information that was detrimental to the operation sort of thing, but that power alignment has changed, and they're not equals anymore. So it's a little more problematic, and at least Naomi is starting to recognize that. She knows that this is not good, and it's only getting worse. So it's interesting. I'm really glad that Saoirse got to play a part in Naomi's lowest low moment, because going to that Fight Club, that Demon Fight Club, was really the peak in Naomi's downward spiral, because she's standing there next to this demon that half of it wants to live, half of it wants to fight, and she probably would have let it go. She probably would have been so horrified with herself in that moment and stepped away and been like, I can't do it. But then Saoirse came along, gave her a little tap on the shoulder, and suddenly she's like, attack. So yeah, that started things off with that, and that's a moment that she keeps coming back to every time she has drinks with Saoirse, and she's like, I need to get out of this. I need to, as quietly as possible, back away out of this, because if Penny finds out, I'm going to be in deep shit. And at this point, she is so freaking paranoid about the people Saoirse talks to. When Emma was talking about more Saoirse and Xander stuff in the GC, I was like, oh God, please don't do it. Like, no, that's not going to be good. And yeah, my inner Naomi is freaking out, because that's the last thing she wants. Anybody to find out that she knows Saoirse, that it's continued as long as it has, because she told Penny that, no, we're done. We haven't done that in a long time. So, that's not good. Yeah, I have no idea how that's going to end. I'm really excited to see, though, because I think it's gonna be painful. It's gonna hurt like a motherfucker. But I think it's gonna be really good. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to that. Next question is another Hannah. Do you think Naomi will ever come in contact with the vampire that killed her parents? God, I hope so. It's going to be a humongous turning point for her, whether or not she decides to go after him, or let it go. And really those are the only two choices she's got. She'll want to try and find a way to do both, but I don't think she can. But yeah, I've said it before, it's sort of like she has spent her entire life looking for this vampire. Her entire adult life has been about getting revenge, and she has never once thought about what happens after that. If she survives it, what happens? What does she do? Because she hasn't done anything else with her life. She has no skills. She has, none of these other things before coming to the Watchers Council. And so it reminds me of the Heath Ledger line in Dark Knight. A dog chasing cars. If the cars stop, what do I do? If I ever caught one, I wouldn't know what to do with it. This vampire is her car, and if she ever caught up with it, what happens after that? Like, what does she even do? And I think she's finally got something now, an after, something after, and making the wrong decision to do with this vampire could cost her that. And she hasn't thought of any of this yet. So it'll be really, really interesting to see what happens with all of that. So yeah, that's a good one. This one is from Jill. Which plot of the week has been your favorite? Obviously, it's To Give What Is Due, because the bad luck thing was just so much fun. I loved hunting for bad luck things that could happen to her. I spent hours trying to think of something, and then finding a picture, and I was like, ha ha ha, this will be awesome. So that was a lot of fun. I love the plot of the weeks. They're just so fantastic, and I think they're just a giggle snort, and they're great. More of those, please. Yes. Another one from Liz. Is Naomi a cat or a dog person, or a pancakes person? Obviously, she's Charles and Pancakes person. She is their person. Yeah. She loves Charles because he's adorable and squishy, and who doesn't love puppies? But Pancakes has a special place in her heart because, they've all gone through, with Illyria as well, they've gone through this traumatic experience of being in a hell dimension. And they survived it, yay! So that's fun. What's another one? Oh, here's another question. What are her hopes for the Illyria Fred situation? Who the hell knows? She's caught between that Fred is a human and therefore should be more important to us, and that Illyria is my friend, my ally, and we have been in the trenches together, and that personally means more to her than humans, which is a huge step for her, and one I really want to explore more, her sympathies towards demons. Probably not vampires. Vampires are probably always going to be meh. But there are demons that aren't bad. And I had hoped to do that when Doyle was around, to kind of explore that some more. So we'll just have to get more half demons and stuff around. So get on that. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. This one's another one from Jill. You post a lot of research for the council library. I do. Which myth or legend or object do you wish could be incorporated into the story most? I love this question, and I love the Watchers Council library tag. I have the Watchers Council library, and I have the Watchers Council armory. First of all, let me talk about the armory for a second. I have looked at more weapons in the last couple of months since IEG started than I ever have in my entire life. I now can identify a Filipino blade over other blades, which is weird, because I am so pacifist, and I'm like, ugh, weapons, blah, pass. But then I talked to my dad about like Eskrima. I'm like, hey, can I get some Eskrima sticks? And he's like, what is that? I'm like, Darcy would still kick your ass. Anyway, but yeah, I love those tags, and I think they're a lot of fun, and I love hunting for new weird and bizarre things to post for you guys. One thing I would love to incorporate, though, and it's sort of off the wall, is more headcanon for older Watchers. I love the Watchers. I think they're so fantastic, and I love finding an old antique photograph, in the bowels of Tumblr, and being like, they're a Watcher. They're totally a Watcher. And like I always come up with like these little headcanons of who they were, and what they did, and who their slayer was, and all this stuff. And I would write all day. I would write all day about that. And I would totally do a side blog and just like little vignettes about all these little different Watchers over the years. I think that would just be loads and loads of fun. So yeah, that's something I would do, totally. Okay, next question. Favorite headcanon, and that's from Mo. Probably of the ones I've posted, like of the official Naomi headcanons, my favorite is the very first solo about how she got her jacket. I don't know why I decided that she was going to be creepy as hell like the first time I wrote her. But the jacket is a big part of her mythology. And it's really creepy because when you step away from that solo, you're like, that jacket is a serial killer's trophy. Like, yeah, I don't think she's taken something from every vampire she's killed, but that one is a symbol of the very first vampire, the very first time she survived, and so it means a lot to her, and who she is, and all of that. So yeah, I love that one. I think that one's a lot of fun. I also love the one about her suicide attempt. I feel like that's very telling of her emotional range, and how she can overreact in those situations, and how bad the guilt can be. That's a really good one. I also love all of the alternate universe meta headcanons lately. I think those are lots of fun. Like, how did blah 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 and Naomi get together? I think those are so great. And I really love the Ryan ones. Those are some of my favorites. Just because I had totally, like, when Ryan first got picked up, I was like, we're going to make something happen here. This is totally going to work, because their backgrounds are just so similar. And I was like, there's no way we can't make something work. But it just didn't play out the way I had hoped. So it's fun to kind of go back and say, what if this had happened, and what if that had happened? I love doing that, and just exploring different paths that their lives could have taken. So, I love that one. Okay. Oh my gosh, we're at the last question. This is a Liz question. What is one time you'd like to hit Naomi upside the head? And I wrote, do you mean all the time? Because yes, all the freaking time. No, probably right now, actually, right now, because she's taking, so much, I feel like right now she doesn't have a huge part to play, but she's helping to perpetuate the Willery drama, because she's not verifying any of her freaking facts. If she would just be like, okay, you think this, what actually happened? Or if she would just talk to DeXander or to Dawn or anybody else that she's close with and be like, what really happened? You know, who is this Warren guy? What did he do? I don't think she is ever going to be okay with Willow. Ever. There's, no matter who Warren was, no matter how horrible a person he was, there's that part of her that's like, he was Mallory's family. And after having lost her own family, that's unforgivable. No, that doesn't work. And so she's never going to be okay with Willow. I think she might come to a point where she's like, I understand, I get it, but they're never going to be friends. They're never going to be able to pal around like she can with some of the others. But yeah, if she would only just step away and be like, let's find out some facts and let's find out what's really going on, maybe she could stop Mallory from going where she's obviously going to end up going, darker, deeper down the rabbit hole. Maybe she could pull her back sooner and prevent more damage than is going to happen already. But no, I'm not going to do that because that's smart, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Anyway, that's it. That's all my questions. You guys are super awesome. Thank you for putting up with my rambling and my shaky iPhone. Goodness. So yeah. Izzy. Bye.